Hello and welcome to the All Round Coaching podcast, episode number 54. I did have a week away just with going on holiday, to which I'm now depressed because obviously we're back and it's just raining and windy. But went away for my birthday, which Mel got me. She isn't here because she's gone out and left me, but she took me to Ibiza, which was absolutely amazing. And it was my first time there as well. I am just so much happier in the sun. My back didn't ache. I felt happy. I was all glowy and dewy, and now I'm just back in the UK and absolutely miserable. But I am back in work, obviously this week coming on the 10th, and I'm looking forward to seeing all my clients. So I wanted to go over, because a lot of people do this, especially when they go away, or they just relate like coaching and anything to do with health as just one little summer thing, and expecting to keep the results. So I'm probably going to dump a little bit of information here, and I think it'll resonate with quite a few people. With me, a backstory, if I was going away on an all-inclusive, it's like I saw it as a challenge. And I think a lot of Brits do this, where if something's all-inclusive, you want to, quote, get your money's worth. And you end up going down to the buffet and just inhaling 4 plates for breakfast. People picking up donuts, croissants, muffins, having a full English, and then going back for more. So over the years, I stopped doing this, because I remember on it was 2019 that I went away. And it was all inclusive, and I was like 3 plates deep for breakfast, same with lunch, same with dinner. So obviously eating about nine plates of food, plus then obviously your desserts on top throughout the day, is more than what you need to do. And it is greed, like it isn't hunger, but chances are you're going to be there for more than a day, so you don't need to experience every single food that day. Just spread it over the week. One thing I did when I went away this time is each meal that I had a portion of protein. With us, it was kind of like an a la carte style anyway, and it was quite small portions. So I'd be opting for like the fishes, the chicken, a little bit of steak and a little bit of lamb here and there as well, and having a little bit of veggies. Now, I know a lot of people feel like they have to eat all the sweet treats when they go away, but like every single piece of cake tastes the same when you go abroad. No one can argue this different. Like it all just tastes the same for some weird reason. So remind yourself that just because it's there, you don't have to eat it. And I think a lot of people go wrong before they go away. They go super restrictive, they slash the calories, or they've come off the back of a challenge that hasn't really worked for them and it hasn't really been catered to them. What I want to teach with my clients is, yes, you can still live life, but you don't need to overeat and be a little piggy for the sake of it. So I'll go on to what coaching can do for you, what you can do, like some tips, what to avoid, and just breaking people out of that cycle where it's an all or nothing, and then if they go away, that they need to inhale a small village just so they feel satisfied. But think of how you feel after you've actually done that, and do you actually feel better? And the chances are you don't, because I've done it myself. With coaching, a lot of people say, oh, I can't afford coaching. Everybody cannot actually afford coaching. It's whether they see it as an expense or an investment. So your commitment will determine whether coaching will be the best investment you make, or not necessarily the worst, but a waste of time. And you know what? Not everybody is suitable for coaching. Some people think they want the help or they want the results, but they don't want to work for it. It is a two-way street. You can't just start and work with a coach and expect the results. Communication throughout is absolutely needed, trust, honesty, and then making sure that you actually show up as well. But I think a lot of people miss the fact that you need to do the work. So you can have the best coach in the world, they can give you everything that you absolutely need, and I always say you can have 2 people and they can get completely different results from the same plan. It's because one's willing to work and one just thinks like, oh, I'll get the work because my coach is doing it. They neglect the nutrition, they neglect the sleep patterns, they neglect everything movement-wise, and then they think, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. So it's you that actually needs to work and making sure that you utilise this investment. Now, a lot of clients do stay with me over time, not because they don't know what they're doing, it's because I help with that application and I support them, because not everybody's always going to be winning. Like, I'll have a few of my guys where they're struggling, and that's where I come in. So I'm not just there for the transformations, the big wow factors. I'm there to actually support people. And I think a lot of people do give up too soon. So just think, this isn't an overnight thing. It might take longer than you actually thought, but it needs your full commitment and not giving up. This doesn't mean, I think when people hear full commitment, they think, oh, it needs to be extreme. It doesn't. It just needs you to reframe your mindset where you're looking for solutions rather than just looking at a problem and think, oh, I can't do it, and then you give up, and that time's going to pass, and then you'll go back around and think, oh no, I'm going to commit this time. Your full commitment's needed, and rather than having that all or nothing mentality, which I used to have as well, to be fair, avoid the on and off, avoid being a perfectionist, and just actually maintaining what you've worked for. Now, to do this, it's building the habits over time, which come with commitment on a daily basis. So stop thinking about the week, the month, the year. Focus on your daily routine and nail that. So what you do on a Monday might be different to what you do on a Saturday. So start and nail them routines for them days and putting your non-negotiables in and build it up from that. The more you do something, the easier it becomes because that habit's then ingrained. And I think that's what I've learned over time. Like, I'll have my daily, I don't even think about them anymore, but my daily routines that I actually do, like, I'll eat the same breakfast, I'll do the same little routine, and it's just second nature now. And I think a lot of people neglect what their actual routine and the habits do for them. So just in gist of things, build a routine, build the habits, and that's where you will sustain your results, and accept that you're going to have to work hard for it. Nothing comes easy, and it annoys me that you see on social media where they portray that 6, 8, 12 weeks, it's going to be easy, you're going to get shredded. It's why I avoided calling my 6-week program anything to do with shredding, because it's about building people up, getting them started and actually building something. And a lot of them do continue with me as well. So I'll never overpromise anything that you'll get in 6 weeks, or even from coaching from 6 months. It's the work you put in, what we put in together, and then just focus on actually being a little bit healthier, a little bit stronger. Because do you know what? I think from me starting training to now, like, it's cool as fuck being strong. And I think when I was in Ibiza, I was watching guys struggling on some dips, and it's nice just to rock over and like dip out on the bar. Obviously, I'd have a few drinks in me at this time, but it was a nice feeling, and I think it's just cool being strong. So fuck the scale weight. Everything that you do around actually getting healthy will make you feel good anyway. And I think a lot of people say I'm boring because I don't go out drinking on weekends. And now it's that weird thing where it's more abnormal to eat right and exercise because everybody just sees it as a punishment. So just go out there, get strong, and honestly, you'll feel so much better for it. And probably one thing that I've started to drill into my guys is not obsessing over the numbers. Like, your scale weight isn't a dictator of your success. It's not a dictator of fat loss. Yes, if you're obviously on the obese scale, you do kind of want to see the scales come down, but a lot of people fixate on that, and if they don't see the scales come down, they self-sabotage and then they'll overeat anyway. So if you don't have a good relationship with scales, focus more on how you feel, remove weighing yourself and commit to that. Just think, well, I feel better, I'm starting to look better, I've more energy, and I'm moving better, and then that'll then a trajectory on the way up anyway. You're not just going to feel like, oh, I've not lost anything this week, so I'm going to give up. But just focus on actually, I mean, I think a lot of people say this, like Mel said it to me yesterday when I was training, like, I just make it look easy and it's effortless, but that's me training for 21 years and making it look that way. I've always had the mindset, like, hard work will always beat talent, and do the reps. So the more practice that you do with anything, like, I'm not a good runner because I haven't practiced doing it and I don't like doing it, but I'm good at lifting weights and I'm good at training. So if you actually practice things and actually, like, it links back to the routine and got good at it, it would feel a little bit easier and you feel a little bit happier with it. And I know a lot of people slate people for saying this, but do you actually want it enough? And it's not me saying, oh, you don't want it enough, but people need to realise that you need to work a little bit harder. My mantra since I started training, because obviously the physique that I build and work for isn't average, but fuck average. Like, the average person now, especially in the UK, is they're unhappy, they're overweight, and a lot of people are at that acceptance where, oh, I'm this age, so I'm going to get fat, I'm going to gain weight, and you don't have to. It's, if you accept that, then it will happen. You just have to put the effort in and make a decision. Don't rely on feelings. So everybody says, oh, I'll wait till I feel motivated, I'll wait till Monday, I'll wait till I've lost a little bit of weight, I'll wait until I feel better. Like, make a decision and actually put the fucking work in and choose your hard. So for me, I never wanted that hard life, and it's the same with being self-employed. Like, oh, it's easy for you, you've got your own time, self-employed, blah, 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 and it's took an absolute fucking graft over 5 years to get to this point and to keep building as well. So choose your hard. Do you want to stay in a 9 to 5? Or do you want to stay unhappy, unhealthy? Do you want to stay overweight? Or do you actually want to start now, put the work in and get somewhere? So whether you actually want to chase some dreams, rebuild your life, or get a little bit healthier, then it is something the coach can help, and obviously making sure you choose the right coach for you. And that's one thing I pride myself in. Like, I won't work with anyone that I don't feel like would work well with me. And I know there's a lot of coaches that will just charge the earth, but I wanted to create things that were accessible to different amounts of people. So if you do want some help and you don't want to be average, or you actually feel stuck, then you can contact me. Hybrid intake is closed at the minute, but online coaching is open, and I will be starting 42 Elite on the 10th, which by the time this is out would be today. And it'd be nice just to actually help people and break people away from that mindset where they have to be average or they have to be unhealthy. Coaching is accessible to everyone. It's just whether you want to put the work in. So I will leave it there, a little bite-sized podcast. But if anyone does need any help, I have dropped the links in here to my website, or you can just drop me a message. I will see you next week, and I will bring back a little bit more snippets, info and tips for you. And then obviously you can make that change yourself.